Okay, this video is going to quickly review the basic structure of an HTML document. First off, we're going to start out, and it's going to have the doc type. Now, this is a single tag, doesn't have a closing tag, and it just tells the browser that we are working in HTML5, this specific one. So we're going to go exclamation point, doc type, and then HTML. And that's all we have to do. So the browser understands, hey, everything below this is going to be HTML5, interpreted as such. Next tag is going to be the tag that encompasses the whole website except for the doc type. So it's going to be HTML. Now, a lot of times people get this confused and they don't put the opening HTML tag because this says HTML here. But we do need an opening HTML tag. And then we're going to come down a little ways and close the HTML tag. I like to open and close my tags at the same time so I don't forget. Now that we're inside of the HTML, we're going to indent one time because these tags are being surrounded by it. Now there's two main tags, or two main groups right here inside the HTML. The first one's going to be head, and the second one's going to be body. All right, so let's talk about those two real quick. The head is a place where more information goes that normally is not visible to the visitor or the person looking at it in the web browser, and it just tells the web browser a little bit more about the document itself. And so in this case, we're going to go with title first. It doesn't matter what order these are in inside of here for now. Title. And the title, when we put this in here, page title, if I go over to the website, you'll notice this says Google up here. That title is what's going to be showing in this little tab right here, or at the top of your web browser. So whatever we put here is going to be visible up there at the top of the browser. The next one's going to be the meta tag. Now, this one's not talked about in the book that you covered in reading, but this is one that we will need to be using. Now, the meta tag, there's a lot of different attributes that go on that meta tag or can go on the meta tag. We're going to use one char set equals UTF-8. And then we put a slash and close it off. Now this is a self-closing tag, or an empty tag is what they call it in the book. This basically says we want a character set. So think if we were working with Chinese characters, we were doing a Chinese website, we would want access to Chinese characters that we would be able to display. And so we'd have to use a character set that provided those for us. We're going to use UTF-8, which is the largest English character set. Oftentimes it gets defaulted to UTF-8, but not always. So we want to do that. If it doesn't get defaulted to it and you don't declare it here, sometimes what will happen is an @ symbol won't show up, or a copyright symbol won't show up, or some just random things just won't be there because the characters aren't available or they weren't defined. Okay. Let's get down to the body now. So now the body, this is going to include our images. I'm just going to write them out. I'm not going to write the tags. Images, content, headings, paragraphs, anything that's going to be visible in the main part of the web browser, that's going to go inside the body. So that's all right there. Now, couple common mistakes people make. They'll end up, when we get into more HTML5 elements, they'll put the header up here inside the head. Or they'll just put an image tag up here, image src equals blah, 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 blah. And I'm just going to, that's not how you write the full image tag, but I'm going to take the time right now. So sometimes they'll put them up here, and that won't validate because this is something visible and it needs to be in the body. So we would need to cut that out, and we would need to bring it down here to the bottom, or inside the body. Another common mistake people make is they put tags between the head and the body. So right there, that image is only in the HTML, and the only thing that should be in the HTML is this head and the body. So make sure that you get this guy inside the body in any one of these scenarios. Last thing, no, that's about it. I'm not gonna, I'll make another video if I need to, but that's the basic HTML document that every website is going to need those elements there. There's a few more that we will get into later, but that's the basic structure.